Top 5 home run hitters. Shout out to Long Gone Summer. I said this on Twitter as well. Those guys amaze me, not because of 98, but because of every other year. Like McGwire came back the next year and hit 65. And nobody ever talks about that. Sosa hit 63 and 64 after hitting 66. And it's just like, oh, well, yeah, they're just like doing the damn thing again. Like, no big deal. I mean, Sammy had 63 home runs, I think, and finished 9th in All-Star in MVP voting.
What?
9th. It's 99. I think he had 63 home runs and finished 9th. It was video game shit. Like, no wonder it saved baseball. We weren't even playing baseball. We were playing a fucking fictionalized sport. It's nuts. Top 5 home run hitters. Lead us off, baby.
I mean, gotta go the kid.
Woo! I think there's two options there. So Griffey, I'll never begrudge that. Are you going for style, swag, prettiness?
I'm going for a little bit of everything. Mm-hmm. I'm going to have some names on this list. I don't even know. I didn't even do any research. I don't even know what I'm going with here. But I know I have a couple of names. You're going to be like, what? And I'm going to be right with it.
Okay. That's what's good about this is like there's, when you do like 10 fucking ice creams, we're all stealing each other's shit. This is going to be like 10. I'm going to go with, I think the other obvious one, Barry Bonds.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the king of this shit.
Bonds is one of the craziest athletes of all time. It
Absolutely.
Just doesn't make his last year, the year he retired or whatever it was that technically happened, wasn't his OPS like 1,200?
Yeah, he was a monster until the very fucking end. I mean, he was that dude who when baseball still struggles with steroids, but when they implemented testing, something like All-Stars and MVP votes and all that shit for guys who were like 30 plus went down drastically. Because I think that was like the main thing that was just comical was like these guys are getting awesome at the age of 38. It just doesn't make any sense. And Bonds was definitely that one where it was like Bonds was also the most curious case because, everyone says he was a Hall of Famer without the steroids. And it's true. But he was like a 30-30, 40-40 guy and like a leadoff hitter and then just became – it would be like if Steph Curry now also just had a career like in the post, like backing people up. Like he played like Shaq for half his career. He played, like Steph run and gun for half his career. That was what Bonds was. It was absolutely a fucking joke. What I think is crazy though is he had 74, but his other highest total, he never even hit 50.
What?
Yep. 24. He hit 49 home runs was his previous high before 74. His home run total went up by fucking 24. A whole other good season's worth tacked on, which is, I mean, that almost makes me, when I saw that, I actually thought, this is a silly thought, but I was like, wow, maybe Barry Bonds wasn't like as much of a home run hitter as I thought. I mean, he just played for so fucking long. He played for 22 years. But like Sammy has 3 seasons with 60. He has like 5 with 50, like crazy ass numbers. But yeah, Bonds went 46, 49, 73. I mean, it's just fucking. And yeah, let me see. His last season, OPS of 1045. He led the league in on base, and he still had 28 homers. That's why, I mean, still led the league in walks. He led the league in walks 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 times. I mean, it's just 232 walks in 2004 is preposterous.
That picture Coley tweeted last night where the Bonds' hands are up, the bat isn't even in the shot anymore, and the catcher is still in the ready position. That's how fast those balls got out of there. He's like, I might catch this.
Yo, I don't think I realized that he won MVP 4 years in a row.
I don't think I knew that either.
That's crazy. And the year in 2000 prior to that, he came in second. So he would have had 5 straight. He had 4 in a row and 3 others. I mean, that's just crazy. So I'm going to take Bonds, steroids and all. I mean, obviously we don't care about steroids here. Just putting that out there.
Yeah. All right. I'm trying to decide which way I'm going to go here. I'm going to go Manny.
Ooh, wow.
And you want to know why? Part of it is Tyler had a great tweet last night where like the aesthetics of baseball are different. Where like a Steph 3 looks like a Steph 3 in every arena. but like baseball, like a ball taken off into the night. And Manny, as a righty at Fenway, just putting balls onto the pike was like insane.
But whenever when you got to see the night sky, like the ball in front of the night sky, that's a pretty rare thing. Like not many stadiums have that, where it almost looks like when you see people at golf ranges, driving ranges at night, and it just looks like the ball's going into outer space. That was Manny, where it was like, I think that one's going to land on the fucking moon.
Dude, he like knocked down Coke bottles. It's like he was just what Manny could do to the Green Monster was illegal. Like there are just holes and dents in it that Manny used to just pound.
I'm surprised, and maybe it's on your list, but Manny over Ortiz as far as your home run memories in Boston.
Yeah, well, I mean, not memories. Obviously, Ortiz has the more important ones.
Right.
But like I've always said that I understand what David Ortiz did for the organization and like what he means to Red Sox. But as far as my favorite Red Sox player goes, it's still Manny. I love Poppy. It's not a fucking putting down Poppy. Right. But just like I thought Manny was the coolest dude in the world.
He was. That was the thing. Awesome. Poppy's cool, but Manny, like the oversized jersey, that right hand swing, the chain, the hair, the theatrics. It was just like he didn't give a fuck, you know.
Dude, Manny, I remember when I was told by a teammate's dad that I reminded him of Manny when I was in high school.
What?
And it was like it was because I was just like fucking like mindless out there. It wasn't because of my swing ability, but it was like
one
even
thing you don't want to be compared to Manny for.
He was like you just run out there into the field and like I don't even know if you know you're playing baseball. You're kind of just out there like being an idiot. And I'm like, yeah, I'll take it. Whatever, man. I can't have the swing. But
what felt better, getting compared to Manny or getting the number of Matthew McConaughey comparisons you got on Instagram this weekend? Holy shit. John took a picture during like little block party when he was out in the city. And I mean, the amount of comments, all right, or is that Matthew McConaughey? Or I think Nardini said you're the only guy who can go from like the Yukon mustache dude to Matthew McConaughey in a weekend. I mean, you looked a lot like Matthew McConaughey there.
Yeah, but like I don't though. So like even in that one picture, that's fine. It's like it's one of those things. Like if I did, that would be great. But like that one angle, I kind of look like him a little bit, I guess. But like
but you know what? We just got to work that angle, baby. We'll like rearrange the studio so that you're always sitting there. We'll get the lighting right. If you have any set of circumstances that make you look like Matthew McConaughey, that's better than not. We got to start replicating those circumstances, man. You know?
Dude, that was what we started doing that day. This is great advice for everybody here. You got to take pictures of your friends. That's what, because like Hubs was like looking cool. And because like everyone wants Instagram pictures, but no one wants to be like, hey, can you take a picture of me?
Right. So just do it for me.
I started taking pictures of people and just texting them to them.
And wow. So you're not even making a thing of it.
No, Hubs was like, what the hell is that? I was like, you look pretty cool right here, man.
Yo, I like that. That's the like the supportive photographer. Like we're not going to make it like you're an influencer. We're not going to bother people. Like let's get together and take a picture. If I notice you're looking good, I'll snap you a candid and I'll send it to you because like you deserve that self-esteem boost. And also like return the favor when the sun's hitting me in a good way or whatever, you know? Yeah.
Everybody
likes it. Everybody likes it.
Everyone likes it. It was. I was taking pictures of Hubs. Casey put one on her story yesterday. I took that picture. I don't know if Keith was still there when we were doing it, but just take pictures of your friends and then text them to them.
It's funny because we're all like, I think everybody who's relatively normal when they see people doing Instagram photo shoots and taking pictures of your food and inappropriate settings. Everyone's like, like fuck these people, but you want to get your Instagram pics off too.
For sure you do.
I commend those people for just being shameless and being like, yeah, take a picture of my ass in front of the fucking protest. But hey, my ass looks good and I don't care. But just do that for people without making them say it.
Right.
That's what you're doing for them. That's a great self-esteem booster. You know what though? You know what's bad? Now if you're hanging out with John and you don't get any sneaky secret texts, that means you're ugly. That just means you're gross. You never looked good enough for John to take a secret picture. All right. By the way, I still have Bonds' numbers up here. He has 2,558 career walks, most ever. I mean, I don't really know like who the second place is, but that just sounds like a preposterous number.
That sounds like it's like a Gretzky type number. Where like
the next closest is like 900.
Right.
Yeah. All right. My second one, I think it's going to be a little controversial because of eras and whatever, but I'm going with Ruth. I know that, he was playing against fucking, plumbers and the talent level was not high. But I hate the old school, new school argument, particularly with basketball, but also with baseball. If you took that raw talent and put it in this era with training and steroids, I mean, imagine Babe Ruth on steroids. If he was in the cage, if he was learning about, fast twitch muscles and all that. And I get the idea that, he wasn't literally as fit and as good of a swing and all that shit, but he also made up for it. Like his numbers were so comically better than everyone. Mm-hmm. In the year that he had more home runs than other entire teams. It's like, yeah, he's that far beyond what everyone else is doing. So, he still has. I'm going to see what his career numbers in certain years are high enough that I think it makes up for the idea that like in this era he wasn't. His career OPS is 1164. Like that is
1164.
Yep, that's like it for his career. He slashed for his career 342, 474, 690. For your career number of slugging when you played 22 years to be 690. And how about this? How many times do you think Babe Ruth won the MVP?
6.
1.
What?
One time. I don't know what the award was like, but he won it in 1923. And then the only other times he ever even got votes was 31 and 32, where he finished 5th place and 6th place. So that something must have been going on with like the MVP. I don't know how like that award worked, but the only time he won it was when he had 41 homers and 130 RBI. Yeah, when he had 60 home runs, he didn't even get a vote for the MVP.
That's insane. There must be something up then.
Yeah, like there's got to be something where like only certain positions could win it or whatever. But as much as you can make the argument that and by the way, he only made the All-Star team twice. That must have just been like it didn't exist until 1933. I don't know. But I think if you take that raw talent and that much power ahead of its time, it would have translated into any era.
Okay. Now
you're going to go something wacky here.
Now I'm off the rails, baby. Number 3, Willie Mo Pena. Dude. I got my 2 in that I needed to get in. Yeah. Willie Mo was either going to strike out or he's going to hit the ball 600 feet. Willie, if you Google Willie Mo Pena's name, once you hit Willie M, it autofills to Willie Mo Pena home run. That's what Willie Mo did, was just hit monster shots. He had that video like I think it was like last year or 2 years ago. He went over to Korea or Japan or wherever he was playing, and he hit the ball like 600 feet. He's like 35 years old, still went him 600 feet. I'm
gonna go off the rails a little bit here to make this more fun because nobody wants to just sit here and be like, now Hank Aaron. Like Hank Aaron, he's not even gonna be on this list, is he? Are you gonna draft him? I'm not gonna draft him. Fuck Hank Aaron. I'm gonna pick this next guy strictly for one home run only. Glenallen Hill, when he put that ball over the fucking apartments in Wrigley. Yeah. That he could have hit no home runs other than that one in his career, and I would have him on my best home run hitters list. That thing is such a joke. If I was the pitcher, that would have been it for me. I would have hung him up. If that happens to you, and the way he just kind of looks like a dinosaur almost. He's got that weird, like, kind of chunky stance. It's uncorks that shit into a different part of Chicago. I will never, ever forget that home run. It's probably my favorite, like, single home run of all time.
Okay, 4, Matt Stairs. Matt Stairs has never hit a first balcony home run in his life. He only hits second row shots. And Matt Stairs also, the great thing about Matt Stairs was like, you were like, I mean, I could do that, right? Like Matt Stairs just looked like a guy who you're like, look, I could probably I mean, he's not this peak physical. He's not this action figure out there. It's just like Matt Stairs, just this big fucking dude with a big fucking swing.
I will go.
I don't know if Matt Stairs. I don't know if the handle of his bat ever got off his gut. It was just a twist.
That's probably how he got his power. He put his gut behind it. I'm gonna one up you, I think, and just take Matt Stairs on a whole other level. Fat fucking Mo Vaughn, who just did nothing but uncork. I mean, he looked like a Ewok. He just had a fat, like, bear cub face, and he had, like, his chin tucked. He was all so tight, but so fat. And then he would just uncork. And I remember he hit one when he was on the Mets. The Mets had that one year. They got him and Jeremy Burnitz and all these other fucking washed-up assholes. And we were like, oh, we're going to win 100 games. And they won like 60. They were so bad. But he put one off the fucking scoreboard in Shea. That was like – Shea had this enormous scoreboard that was probably like 200 feet tall. And it hit like 190 feet up it. It was – insane how high this ball was hit. And he was just so bad at everything else. You know, it was just like Mo Vaughn was the definition of feast or famine. He's going to stink in the field. He's going to strike out a zillion times, or he's going to put one into orbit. So shout out to Mo, you fat fucking cheater.
All right, last one, Jim Thome.
That was going to be on my list. He was great too.
Dude, Jim Thome, he looks like if you were to build like a baseball player or a home run hitter. Like he had like the fucking crouch. He had just 3 cans of tobacco in his mouth at one time and was just up there. Like he was country strong.
I was going to say that was a corn-fed boy who was just like, I hit baseballs. That's what I fucking do.
I don't think he ever touched a weight in his life. That was just like, he'd get up in the morning at 4 a.m. to like work on the farm. And then he'd come in to hit baseballs and he'd go back and work on the farm.
Let me see. I don't know if they hit home runs here. I was going to say Marla Hooch, but I feel like she was just a good hitter. I don't think she had power. I don't think any of the girls hit home runs, did they?
I was like, I don't even know who Marla Hooch is.
Marla Hooch from A League of Their Own. Marla, what a hitter. That is the meanest thing. I just watched it recently when they do like a little sizzle reel and Madonna like slides into third and her skirt like pops up and she's looking sexy and Kit and whatever her name was are fucking being like flirty. And then they show Marla Hooch from like 200 feet away and she's standing at they're like the camera's at home plate and she's at the infield and they're just like, Marla Hooch, what a hitter. It's just so mean. That girl was just like, I'm the ugly girl of this movie. Like for casting, they just had to be like, we need a fucking disgusting girl.
Is that Rosie?
Huh?
Is that Rosie O'Donnell?
No, it's not even. It's a girl who's even uglier than Rosie.
I don't know. I've never seen the movie.
Oh, it's a great film. It's a great piece of cinema. Tom Hanks is incredible in it. He's just a drunk, mean baseball player who like doesn't want to be there, but eventually like learns to love him and shit. Mm-hmm. But he's just got hammers in. He's pissing. He's like he's passing out. He's always drinking whiskey. He is up there. Let me go though. I wrote down a couple. I'm gonna get one more. Legit one in there. No, you know who I'm gonna go with? Very, very little known one, but I got to give him some love as a Mets fan. Ralph Kiner. Look up Ralph Kiner's numbers fights. Ralph Kiner had a career. It was cut short by back problems, but he has as many 50 home run seasons as Griffey, Mantle, Mays, and Jimmy Fox. This dude was awesome, and he got cut short, and now he ended up being a broadcaster for the Mets who just like kind of rambled on like with like
Did he play for the Mets?
What's that?
You played for the Mets?
Played for the Pirates, and then I don't know if he ever had any time in the Mets. He just ended up being a broadcaster there. The most like unsung hero in the like home run hitter ever. He would have been an absolute stud. So
he went 47, he had 51, 48, he had 40, 49, he had 54, 50, he had 47, 51, he had 42. And these all led the league.
And then he went in
1946, he had 23. In 1947, he hit 51.
Attaboy. That's Ralphie for you. And then
he had a long career, though. He played from 46 to 55.
That's not that long.
9 years is a pretty good career. That's not a cup of coffee.
No, but when Bonds and those guys played for 22. Usually when you're a hitter like that, you can.
Well, that's the juice.
Yeah, that's true.
That's how they really screwed like players now, because like players had this idea in their head that like, oh, like my like early 30s contract would be my big one, because like the rookie deals are you have their rights for so long that like you're technically like probably out of your prime unless you're getting
like Mike Trout and some shit. Yeah.
You're probably out of your prime by the time your second contract comes around.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, you got to get paid now because there isn't going to be that. When A-Rod signed 2 $250 million contracts, that should not be humanly possible. That's fucking insanity. Shout out to steroids. Just let them juice. Just fucking let them do it. All right, let us know who won today's top 5. I think we know who won that one. When Willie Mo Pena's on your list, I think we know who fucking won.
Willie Moonshots.